I love making something out of nothing. I'm not trained, but I am brave and determined. Of course, I could hire a professional, but DIY first. All right, guys, I made a trip to Home Depot and got a drawer slide. And I've been kind of trying to think of what I want to put in the space behind this cabinet. And I think I have pretty much decided that I'm going to make a clamp storage rack that can pull out, similar to how my spice rack does in the kitchen. So I got one set of drawer slides that are the side mount type that I was going to put on the side between the pull out part and the wall. As I'm thinking about it though, one set of drawer slides, I'm not sure how much weight that can carry. So I'm not sure if that in particular will work. Hey guys, welcome back. It has been a few months since we have done anything in this area, but we have the lower cabinets built and they are, doing their thing here. Pretty solid build here, but now it is time to finish the other side of this platform, and where we left off is just hasn't been touched. Nothing has been done here, but I do have this school cabinet is what I'm gonna call it. I got this cabinet that I rescued from a local school. It was going to be just thrown away because they didn't have use for it anymore. So I was like, hey, I'll take it, thank you. And it's in great condition. It looks like it's solid wood, looks like it's made from plywood. And I think it's gonna work really well with what I need it for in the garage. And I think it's gonna look nice too. But it is shallower than the base cabinets here. So when I did my measurements, it looked like I would have maybe 9 or 10 inches behind here that would have been just dead space, unused for anything, just like dead space. And so I thought about how could I use that space in a way that's practical and useful so that I can get the most out of every inch of the space that I have. And so originally I thought about potentially having like a pull out clamp storage situation back here. But I ultimately decided against that because it'll be way over here. And I think that I want my clamps to be closer to the actual work area where I will spend most of my time. And so I didn't think that would be too practical to have to walk all the way over here every time I need a clamp. So I have to figure something else out with the clamps to make them more accessible. And so once I kind of walked away from that idea, then I thought about, well, what about like a broom closet where I can have like cleaning supplies and things like that that I maybe wouldn't need every day, but I might want to reach for occasionally to just kind of keep things up. And so ultimately that's what I decided on. And then I spent like several months pondering like how to actually build it. So, I mean, that's kind of my process. I come up with an idea and then I spend weeks just pondering how to do something. And eventually I decide on a strategy and then I just go for it and wing it from there. So I did a little sketch to try to figure out how I wanted to do things and how to execute this build. And on Amazon, I ordered this multifunctional broom and tool organizer thing. This is metal. It has 4 of the broom holders and also has hooks in between. And it looks like these are made to slide so you can adjust the spacing between each one, which is a nice feature, I think. So we'll see how this does, but I think this is about 17 inches based on the Amazon listing, and the drawer slides that I have are about 24. So let me talk about the attachment. The concerns that I had with this pull-out unit is weight. I have 2 24-inch drawer slides that I'm going to use, and that will be how this is attached to the wall and how it pulls out. Now, these are just regular side mount drawer slides, and I have 2. And so my concern was to try to keep it light enough to where these 2 would be sufficient enough to carry the load and not like fall apart basically. Okay, so in thinking about how to execute it, obviously I need to use lighter materials if I can and try to put this thing together. So I did some research yesterday. I went on Pinterest and I was just kind of, you know, just kind of looking around at some of the things that Pinterest had on there that I could maybe get some inspiration on how to execute this thing. And so I saw some ideas. I was wondering, kind of going back and forth about whether I should use something like a pegboard type system. I don't have any pegboard, so I'd have to go to the store and buy it. But I thought about using pegboards to be able to hang everything from that. But then ultimately I decided to get this, and I still may, like, pegboard is not necessarily out, but I have some other steps that I want to do before I actually make that decision. Because again, we want to be mindful of the weight of everything. So pegboard system was one option, but ultimately I think that I want to go with something more like this one. Now they have what looks like these, but they look like the command hook kind, where you have just like the single things that, like the single handle holders, where you can kind of place them in different places on there wherever you want them, which is nice. But I think I bought this already, so I'm just going to use this. And if I needed to add some additional holders for other things, then I can just get some of those single use ones and use those, or figure something else out, put some different types of hooks and things like that. I can be a little versatile and figure that out as I go. But also on the side, there is some shallow shelving that they have here, where they have actual cleaning supplies and stuff like that. And so I thought about kind of doing something similar to this, using this you know, pre-made organizer, which is shorter than the drawer slides. So this is about 17 inches. Drawer slides are 24. So I should have about 6 or 7 inches at least that I can use for shelving. And additionally, if you see this one here may be closer to what I had in mind, because across the shelves they have this little thin bar, which is basically like a little skinny dowel or something like that that you can put across. Now, obviously, I'm not concerned about the aesthetic of it because it's going to be hidden behind this cabinet, but I do want the function. Like, I'm thinking function first and then aesthetics. And so with all of that being said, I'm going to do some type of version of this that will hang on the wall by 2 drawer slides, and the backing of it will either be 1/4 inch plywood or pegboard. I have not decided which, or it may just be open. We will see, but the first step is to actually build the frame of the pullout. I'll have to install that and get that functional before I can put the tall cabinet in place in front of it. So that's kind of why I'm going in the order that I am. So the first step is to build this pull-out drawer, and then I can, once I get that working and get that like I want it, then I can install the cabinet in front of it, and this section will be pretty much done and ready to receive drawer fronts and doors and make it look pretty. So that's where we are. That's the plan for today. And I guess I should go ahead and get started. So let's get to work. So here is the sketch that I made, and I'll try to pop in a better picture of this so that you guys can see kind of what I'm thinking. And I think I want to map it out with tape so I can get a better visual, and that'll also help me make sure that my measurements are going to do what they need to do. So because I have the 24-inch drawer slides and this cabinet is about 3 feet wide, that's gonna leave about a foot of dead space behind here. But I mean, I'm okay with it because I'm still gaining a lot, and I guess I could potentially build the pull out a little bit longer than the drawer slides, because when it comes out, if I have just a little bit that's still behind there, I'll still be able to access everything. So maybe I'll do that. But from the drawing here, it'll leave me about a foot or less that'll be kind of dead space, and I won't worry about that. But I have the 18 inches for the broom storage, hanging kind of storage for taller items, and then about a 6 to 8 foot shelf that'll be more to the outside where you first open up, and that's where I can put like shallow shelves where I can put other cleaning supplies or materials. The type of broom that I have, it's one of the old cedar mops that has the replaceable mop heads that comes on it. So, you know, I could store some of those, the extra mop heads in there. I have like wipes that take off paint and stuff like that. So I can put that kind of stuff in those shallow shelves and get them out of the way of everything else. So that's kind of what I'm thinking that I'll use that space for. So I think I'm gonna tape it out and make sure that my measurements add up to how they need to be. I have this bracing up here, and I did that before. That's been up there since I stopped working in this area. And so the idea behind that is that that's where I can attach this tall cabinet to the wall. Since it's gonna be sitting out from the wall, that'll be the attachment point, and then I'll attach it to the side of the cabinet here, and I think that'll be enough to hold it and stabilize it. I won't be attaching it to the base for the simple fact that it is already elevated. It has a toe kick already built into it, so it's elevated up off the floor, and I won't have a way to like screw down through that into the platform itself. So I'm hoping that by attaching it at the top and attaching it here at the side, that'll stabilize it so it won't fall over or anything like that. So the process that what I was thinking is that this cabinet is 14 inches deep. And so I definitely want to make sure I have enough room on this platform for the cabinet to fit and not stick out too far. This cabinet has a face frame here. It also has this little lip here that kind of sticks out. So if I measure from the back side of the face frame, it's 13 1/4 inches, but from the front of the face frame is 14 inches. Okay, so that is kind of what I'm considering. 13 1/4 versus 14 inches. And I don't really care about this little ledge here sticking out. I'm okay with that. But I've already built this brace here that will attach that to the top, at the top of the cabinet. This is 9 1/4 inches out. If I measure this platform at 9 1/4 inches, then that's gonna give me approximately 14 inches to the front. So I guess I did a good job when I measured this right here to make sure that it's able to sit flush against here, and then I can drill into this through the back of the cabinet into this wood and stabilize everything. Okay, it's 3 feet wide, so I already have a line here. See, this is all the stuff I forgot because it's been several months. But let me tape off this line here that I made and show you. So this line represents where the edge of that cabinet will come out to from the side of this cabinet. So all of this space here is the cabinet itself. So something like that. So the other thing that I needed to consider is that the door of the pull-out is going to be plywood, probably, or it may be solid wood, but most likely it'll be plywood. And so that means that it's going to be about 3/4 of an inch that this cabinet will need to be inset, so that when it's closed, it will sit flush with the cabinet. Like the door itself will sit flush with the cabinet. So that means that where this brace piece ends is also where the pull-out mechanism needs to end, so that when I attach the door to the front side, it will sit flush. And it looks like I already measured out for that. Oh, and it looks like I did that on both sides, because obviously on this side I will need to put something to close off this side of it as well. Unless I make like a little, can I make a little cubby do I want to make a little cubby? There'll be a foot of space on this side that I could potentially use as like a little cubby that could open from this side. Obviously it would need to, like the bottom part would need to be closed off. Would that be useful? I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it to like put too much thought into that, but I won't rule it out. Leave a comment and let me know what you would do. Would you put a little shallow cubby here for something? I don't even know what I would use that for, but anyway, we'll think about it. We'll see. No decisions yet. We got time. But so basically the pull out needs to be the length of this, which is 34.5. So this needs to be 34.5 wide, and the maximum height 67.5. I'm gonna say minus 3 inches, which will equal 64.5 tall. 64.5 tall. And the depth again, 9.25 is the, let's see, 9.25 deep, and we're going to subtract how much? Normally for a drawer slide you would subtract 1 inch because they are about half an inch. They're about a ½ inch thick, but I'm not attaching the drawer slides directly to the wall. They will be attached to a scrap piece of wood because I have this outlet here, and I want to make sure that the pull out mechanism is out from the wall enough to where when it's pulled out, it won't hit that outlet. It needs, like, I want to make sure there's enough space there for that. So that's why I'm going to attach the drawer slide itself to scrap wood that will then be attached to the wall. I think when I do everything, it'll kind of make sense, but that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. So if I have a ½ inch plus, what is that scrap? What is that? I was just looking across the garage and I saw this long piece of scrap wood here that looks like this is ½ inch plywood, which I think this in conjunction with the drawer slide would be just fine. So that'll give about 1 inch of allowance that I would need to have for the drawer slide piece of it. And then, so that's minus 1 inch. I got 9.25. So I do want to make sure I have enough room in the front so it's not hitting against anything. Is a 1/4 inch enough? I don't know if a 1/4 inch is enough. So just to be on the safe side, how about we do it at 7 inches deep? If we do 7 inches deep, how deep is that? 7. I think 7 inches is deep enough. Yeah, I think 7 inches will work. I don't think I have anything that will be wider than that would need to go in this area. So I think that's what we will do. 34.5 inches wide, 64.5 tall, and 7 inches deep. Go somewhere else. I got work to do. I know. It's okay. It's not showing up on camera too well, but that's about the space. And that mop will definitely fit in there. So that line where the tape is, that's the back of the cabinet. 24 3/4. So this is roughly how deep in the drawer slide will bring it, but I can extend it a couple of inches if I want to. I was also taking into consideration this outlet here. I don't know if this is a live outlet or not. I don't even know what type of outlet this is for. Maybe like an air conditioner or something. I don't know what this would be used for, but because this is a pull out, then this would still be accessible. And obviously if I needed to, I could remove this whole setup, I could take the cabinet down and then, you know, pull out this section to be able to access this outlet if needed. But I think what I'm going to do is when James comes, I'm going to ask him to disconnect this from up top so that it's not a live outlet anymore at all, because I can't think of a reason why I would ever use this type of outlet anyway. And obviously where it's located is not useful. But with the setup like it is, that outlet will still be useful, will still be accessible, and that will be accessible. So that's the plan. So my strategy at this point, again, is to try, I think I can make pretty much the frame of it with just this one piece of plywood. So I cut all of the pieces that will go around the perimeter, the two sides and the tops. This portion of this piece is 16 inches. So if I cut 3-inch strips off of this piece, then I could get 5 pieces, and those will be the brace pieces that will go horizontally across the top, bottom, and then in the middle to kind of hold everything together. And that's without a backing piece on there. So I'm just gonna cut this little tail piece off here, and then I can run all this and the other pieces through the table saw to get them down to their final dimension. So the next step is to cut the pieces down to their final length, and I'll do that with the miter saw. So let me get this set up. So this is where I need to decide exactly how long I'm going to make this pull-out closet situation, because all of the horizontal pieces will be cut to the same length, and those are also the pieces that will get the pocket holes. So the side pieces, the longer pieces, won't get pocket holes. Everything will screw into those. So my drawer slides are 24 inches. So I'm thinking about making the horizontal pieces 26. If I do 26 inches, and then there's going to be 1.5 inches accounted for with the side pieces. So that's going to be 27.5 plus 3/4 inches, 28 1/4. If my math is right, 28 1/4. So yeah, I think I'll go with 26, because that'll give 2 inches past the drawer slides of just like a little bit extra over there. So we'll do 26. I will cut the ends off of each piece first, like just cut a little strip off, and then measure and cut from there. The reason I do that is because the end here may not be straight. So I'll start each piece with one straight side and then measure from there. So that way, hopefully, both ends of the board will be straight. guys, so the pull out section seems to be working. I need to move some of these items over here to be able to push it all the way out. And once I do that, I can put 2 more screws in these boards at the top and the bottom. Right now I have 2 on this side, 2 in the middle, but I want to put 2 on the end as well, but I can't really get to them right now. So, but the mechanism seems to be working, and it seems like these 2 drawer slides are strong enough to hold everything. It seems pretty solid. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. And I can finish with the interior part. Like, I can do that whenever, because now that it's up and movable, I can go ahead and get this cabinet in place. And when I get ready to finish this out, I can push it over, you know, open it up, and then finish out whatever I'm going to do in here. But I do think I'm going to put this organizer here, and so you can see that leaves a good amount of space here for additional storage. I can make little cubbies or something, hooks and things like that, to hang other things on this side if I want to. So I think this plan is going to work. I am very proud of this project in particular, because y'all just don't know, I've been thinking about this for months, trying to figure out how to get it done, and looks like I've been successful. So here we go. Pull out broom and cleaning closet for the garage.